Boom. And we're live. Salutations, y'all, and welcome to episode 13 of Design Therapy. We welcome you to wherever in the globe, to our community. We have this huge global audience. We're just connecting with one fellow that speaks European and Spanish languages, and we're just like, yo, what's up, man? That's awesome. So, we really welcome you to join us. I am your host, Keone Chong. I've got my co-creators with me. We've got Jose Caballer and Mary Gribbin, who will be dropping in a moment.
Howdy.
This is a reminder that this community and this platform that we're building is an experiment, and it's an experiment in co-creation. Our goals are to teach leadership by design, to empower the next generation of creative builders. Our goal is to help you understand the skills and the processes to redesign how the world works, to prioritize people over process and human connections above everything. Today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Core Brand Discovery. If you're interested in checking it out, it's at coreismagic.com. And if you've been checking out our content and you haven't yet subscribed, we invite you to like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you this really powerful and valuable content.
Yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, also share it.
Mm-hmm. We appreciate all of the shares, and we're here for y'all. So here we are at our agenda for today. We're going to start with our drop-in, as we always do, as we open the circle. We'll dive into the download, which is about the mindset for today's conversation. The theme of the week is community building, and we're really excited to discuss a little bit about that. Where you are with your community, how we can better serve you in this community. Then we're going to move into a little check-in about where we're at. So where's the system? How are we growing? What are the developments of late? We're going to be sharing that with you guys. And then we're going to talk a little bit about our Accelerator program. So for a lot of you guys that have been, riding along with the content and conversations that we've been having, we really want to push you guys into growth and to really encourage and nourish your guys as you guys advance to the next level in the game. And so we're going to talk a little bit about our Accelerator program and how our Accelerator program can help you. Lastly, we'll end with the upload. So what are the most important things that you guys were able to take away from today's conversation? And then we'll end it as we always do with music and no cookies. Open chat, funky music, and just vibes. So let's drop in. So today's drop-in follows the same format as we do every week. It's a name, location, what you do, and then what is the most valuable thing that you've received from this community, and what do you need more of? So I'll model that for you guys. My name is Keone, and I'm located in Los Angeles. I am a cultural engineer, and the most valuable thing that I've received from this community is what is the most valuable thing? The inspiration. Everyone in this community is so powerful and creative, and you guys are constantly inspiring me to push to develop more, push to create more, frameworks, more to create better opportunities for collaboration. I'm really excited at so much of the work that you guys are doing, and it's just really inspirational. And what do I need more of? I think I would really like to see the community grow. I would love to see you guys, deepen the bonds that you have currently and expand those bonds, and step into a space where you guys can collaborate more, where you guys can take on more creative opportunities, where you guys can build your businesses and build your revenue and, build yourself, your identity and who you are, and from an organic place, from an honest place. But that's what I need more of. And we're going to open up the floor. So I'd love for anyone out there listening to step on the stage and share. A little bit about your name, where you're at, what you do, and what's the most valuable thing that you received from this community.
I'm gonna go. So for me, I'm Mauricio in Medellin, Colombia. And I remember this thing Jose says every once in a while, come for the booty, stay for the love. I'd say that love is definitely the best, or not. Yeah, the thing I've enjoyed the most, and I felt more grateful for it. Having like the ability to be myself, and this idea of unconditional love, right? Which it's lovely to feel with y'all, and that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Mauricio. For those of you that said my mic was a little bit low, how's it sounding now? Excellent. So I'll read a couple from the audience, and then I would love if anyone else would come to the stage and share. We've got Diane Perry, and she's in Brighton. She's a UX designer, and she says empowerment and inspiration drives her to be better. Most valuable things that she's received in this community. Thank you so much for that, Diane. We've got Arsenije. He's in Belgrade, Serbia. He's a software developer and brand strategist. And he says the most valuable things is the confidence to be myself and love. Also one of the big inspirations for his own community. Thank you for sharing.
I would love Arsenije to talk a little bit about his community that he's building in Serbia, following it on Instagram, how can we support him? What are the results he's seen in his community? That'd be really awesome. And I know Priscila's here from Madrid, and she's helping Alex Zorrita build the community. So that, some awesome people here to share today.
Yeah. Shaquille from Seattle. He says that this is the first community that he felt like he both belonged and could contribute to. And he's still figuring out what he needs next. Yeah. We've got Amit. He's a UX designer from Mumbai, India. And he said this community has become his go-to place for inspiration and learning. Oh, man. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. We've got Roxana. Mallorca, Spain. I'm working on my Spanish, y'all. I got it right. Mallorca. She's a web designer. For her, she says that the most valuable things that she's received from this community is confidence, love, inspiration, friends, personal development, and so many more things.
Yeah, let's get some people to share on camera, Keone, and like turn off the slide and let folks share. If you're not shy, if you're
Not shy, yeah.
Just a few more, and then we'll go into our agenda.
Yeah.
It is Friday, folks.
Mm-hmm.
May 14th.
Yeah. We've got we've got Mila. She's working from her hometown, Chicago. She says, hit her up if you ever need a tour guide in this beautiful Gotham City. Yo, I went and had the tacos at that spot where they cuss you out in Chicago. You know what I'm talking about, Mila. We're like, come get your goddamn hot dog. I'm like, oh, okay, sorry, gee.
Chingona.
Chicago is super dope. And she's a marketing design artist. And she says the most valuable thing that she's received from this community is feeling like she found her weird, geeky nerd tribe. And she needs more fun projects to collaborate on and more great work that she's proud of. Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
Yeah, think about the community as a lobby for a video game, and sharing your story and us reading, and the drop-in is about connection. The mechanics of the drop-in for meetings is really about connecting on a personal base. We always have a different prompt every week, but you can also make prompts be silly, like something else. But yeah, anyway, continue, Keone.
Emily had her hand raised. Emily, would you like to share? Love to hear.
Yeah.
I'll go. I'm Emily Spivak from Austin, Texas, and I really enjoyed last summer when we did the circles, and I got to see other people facilitate and see how Andrew and Poppy, they both facilitated for our group, and that was just a lot of fun to see the questions that they chose and all of that good stuff. And also, I just like coming here because there's so many people that are inspiring and doing work that they love, and everybody wants to get better. And I don't know, the world feels dark right now, and this place is less so. Or this community is less so. And so that always feels good. And I need us to get going on the group and the circles so that we can continue to learn and grow together.
Make it snappy. Come on, Keone, let's get this thing done.
So
Yeah.
I'm excited.
You know, and we're gonna have access. We have a specific slide for that. We've got a couple folks that have reached out to me that are ready to start the invitation, and so we're gonna have our first circle, which is gonna be around stories. But email me. We've got a whole slide. We're gonna talk about that a little bit.
It's like this is like a club. They're, you know, early access is what we're doing right now, and getting all the circles set up and things rolling inside before we open it up even wider, which we've been doing for everything we're doing. Like, you know, even this experiment of a year long. I'm glad that you enjoyed circles, but anybody else, and where are we at?
We've got a couple.
That was amazing.
Adriana and Asia. Would either of you guys like to come to the stage and share?
Hania.
Hola.
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 Hello.
Hello. Hello.
I am Priscila from Spain. My English is so bad. So sorry.
Hablo en español y yo te traduzco. Hablo en español completamente.
No,
Sí,
I really like to try to speak in English because I really love, but I'm so bad. So I say sorry. I'm an actress. And I come from La Corbata de Alex Zorita. Y I'm glad to be here because, gracias. I'm glad to be here because I really love that energy. I think bueno, tradúceme, José.
Dilo en español.
O sea, es verdad que siento que hay muchísimas cosas que puedo aprender de todos vosotros, pero lo que realmente
there's a lot that you can learn from all of us, but...
Pero una de las cosas más interesantes que yo he encontrado en este grupo, en vosotros, en La Corbata y en vosotros, es la energía.
One of the things that she has found, the truth is that what she has found for La Corbata and for this group is the energy. Yeah. ¿Cómo describirías la energía? ¿Con qué palabras?
Pues, porque, por ejemplo, yo he tenido siempre como mi tribu de actores, ¿no? De gente muy creativa, pero enfocada al mundo de la interpretación.
She's had her tribe of actors, but...
Pero sí, es verdad que es un mundo un poco superficial, ¿no?
It's a very superficial world. The connection is not authentic. Wow.
La conexión.
You would think that actors would connect a little bit more authentically.
Yes, I think it's possible connect deeper, no? But in this world, it's very difficult to find people who want to really connect. When you are with actors and actresses and talking, for me, my impression is like, it's not an interview. I mean, please be you. It's not an audition. It's not a casting. It's for me. It's so tired. So it's so difficult to try real persons in this world where I was. And in this tribu, I've encontrado gente creativa, creative people, but with no fear to be herself and with no fear to share and to be honest and to be, I don't know. I think this is so interesting. I never found this, and I'm so glad to be here. And I can practice my English.
Yeah, welcome, Priscilla.
Welcome.
Thank you.
To see you.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing with everyone. You did great, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you so much.
You
Thank you.
passed the audition.
So
On.
I'm gonna end it off with these last couple shares in the chat. We've got Asia Satterley, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Long Beach, LBCDPGC. For those of you that know about Dog Pound. She is a web and graphics designer, and this is her second time joining this live stream and enjoying it. She's the only designer at her company, so she's looking for a community of other designers to get inspired by. Wow.
Welcome,
You're in
Asia.
a great place. Welcome.
Nice to see you.
And then the last one that we had in the chat was from Raphael Sandoval. Raphael. He's from New York, and he's been intrigued by Keone and Jose's journey and the audacity to push us in a very kind way. He's a introvert, super shy, very inadequate, as he feels you are super adequate, my friend. Don't let anybody or yourself tell you that you're inadequate. We're more powerful than we know.
Thank you.
But he says, like Chris Doe, he totally thinks that his voice is horrible. And he's here to learn and attempt to give back more than he receives. He's here for the community and to learn about circles. Awesome. Oh,
Jason.
actually, we've got one last one. Jason.
From Nebraska.
From Nebraska. And he's a budding brand strategist. He just wanted to shout out Cassie for being amazing and jumping on a call with him and helping him out. The most amazing thing from his community that he feels that he's received from this community is similar with Mila. He's found a cool community that wants to geek out about branding, business, community, and so much more. Glad to have you here, Jason.
Welcome, Jason.
Yeah.
Come again. All right.
Before we move on, can I make a little parenthesis?
Okay.
Floor's open.
Okay, the first thing is you said everybody to email you. That's for the
Accelerator. It's coming up. There's a slide for it.
Should I put your email in the chat? Like Keone at the Systm?
Yeah.
You can put it in the chat when we get to that spot, when we get to that place.
Gotcha.
We've got a slide. I've actually got my email in the slide as well. But yeah, we'll be talking about it. And thank you so much for the support, man. Yeah.
The other thing I wanted to just ask something for the community, which is there is this post, I'm gonna put it in the chat with the book list that I'm putting together. I would love for you all to, I'm gonna put that in the chat so you don't have to look for it, for you to go there and just put your book recommendations. That would be great. So we could just have like a list for everybody. And that's it.
Dude, great idea. And thank you so much. Mauricio is one of our community managers, y'all. So, if he ever reaches out to you, or if you have anything of need and maybe you can't reach myself or Jose or Mary, you can totally just reach out to Mauricio. Aline. So let's talk a little bit about today's download. And this is sort of the mindset that, we really want for you guys to keep in the back of your mind as we have our conversation today. And today's download is about community, as it should be. That's this week's theme. And it's super simple, but super profound. If you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Now, hopefully you guys have heard this before. This was...
but it's so hard, Keone. We got to talk to people. I got to share myself. I got to make decisions. We got to agree on a direction.
I have to teach somebody.
Screw that. I don't want to collaborate with any of you weirdos.
Why should I care about other people?
Golly.
What about my needs?
Yeah, Keone, can you crop the download a little bit on the left and on the top? It's got some white. I'm such a designer. Designers are a pain in the ass to collaborate with, just to be clear. I admit it's for sure. Yeah, and now it's got a little bit of space on the right. And can you fix the kerning on the N and the L? Those are all jokes, by the way. That font just has bad kerning out of. One thing to know, and this is me being a designer and making excuses, that one of the goals for the identity and all our slides is just that they're kind of not perfect and messy, and it looks like we found them on the internet, like a meme, just for fun, just to screw with you guys who are designers. We're like, the kerning is bothering me. I just want to piss off every designer out there.
Yeah, man.
All right.
And that brings up a really important point. And it's just that, there's no real perfect. Everything is a process. And I think the most important thing is that if you want the longevity, the process should be collaborative. It must be collaborative, right? We have to work together. Um, it's easy for us to, and we see it all the times in the design space. We all know that, like, the dick designer, the dude that's like, oh my god, you don't know how to do, my layers are so perfect. Oh, you didn't use this. Oh my god, what about you?
Very
didn't
technical. Move over. Let me fix it.
And they're like, oh, don't mess up my files. Oh, you're gonna mess up my naming conventions, right? Like, we all
Make it bigger. Make the logo bigger. Really big.
or the
Let's make it
client
really
makes the
big.
logo bigger, right?
Make the logo really big. Yeah.
The funny thing is that at the end of the day, it's not really the end design, it's the process and the experience, right? And your ability to collaborate together and have input, right? It sets the tone so that the work can continue in this really great place. It sets the foundation of respect for not only for the people and the individuals that you guys are designing for, but the people that you are designing with. So much of the Western 19th, 20th, and 18th century mandate was about control. It was about one person sitting at the top of the totem pole and making everybody else underneath them do what they needed to do. And what are we starting to see? We're starting to see this renaissance of new business models, new technologies that are doing what? Exactly the opposite. Putting community first, putting people first, right? Now we're starting to see brands that put people over profit and process and products. Oh my God, what a novel notion. And what are they starting to understand? That the community is driving the opportunities for the brands, driving the opportunities for revenue, driving the opportunities for ownership, driving the opportunities for attribution, right? A little bit of that is blockchain, but I think really what we're also dealing with was this resurgence in the creative community. And we're starting to understand how powerful we are, each of us,
especially
as
in
designers.
Latin America, especially in India, especially in Africa. If you're listening from any of those locations, it's really important. So yeah. And we talk a lot about some of the issues of who we are. And yesterday during our work session, Colleen and Mauricio and Keone and I, of course, we just chill for a little bit, talk, catch up. We do the drop in, and there's no, out of a 2-hour session, 35-40 minutes are spent on the drop in. Checheando, no, ¿cómo se dice lo que dicen la gente en how do you say it in Spain, Priscilla, when people are just chatting? No,
Chateando.
Chateando. Yeah, chateando. That's a good one. I like it. But anyway, the point about that is that, you drop in personally, you talk, some real big issues come up. But back to the community and to the quote, if you want to go quickly, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I was very anxious about collaborating with Keone and with Mary and growing the community. Not because I don't like Keone and Mary, they're amazing. They're super cool. They're the best partners you can possibly have in doing this crazy. Keone and I had been talking about it forever, like, about doing something together. Kind of like just like tourist style, like, weaving around and like, just like, okay. Before kind of pulling the trigger, my biggest fear was just disappointing, how much collaboration there had to be and not wanting to disappoint people and not wanting to disappoint, Keone and Mary and not being able to, did I have the ability to lead this? And, one thing that I kind of realized and my coach and yes, I have a coach, believe it or not, who also has helped us with our framework since last summer of doing our own story. His name is Joe. He's Dominican. He's super awesome. He's an entrepreneur on the East Coast in Atlanta. He kept on trying to remind me to go back to my superpower. Like, no, whenever you feel anxious that you can't do it, that you don't have the ability, that, you're not a good enough leader, that, you don't know what to do, whatever it is, whenever it is that you feel that way, what is your superpower? And, and I said, my superpower is community. My superpower is, setting the stage for people to play and to be themselves and to enjoy working together. And then yesterday, Colleen just like almost made me cry because I was like really stressed out because I'm working on a top secret project that needs to get done by the end of this month. It's critical for us for the business, and it's a lot of production work. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. I'm horrible at production work. I am very bad at production work. And it's in Keynote, and I'm talking to Mauricio about putting it in slides, but Google Slides makes the Keynote into a mess. And Colleen just goes, well, I know I have Keynote and I love production work. Why don't you just give it to me? I'm like, oh my God, you're gonna make me cry. So the reason I share that is that the reason why we're doing your superpower, whenever you get, thrown off on whenever you're not, just call somebody in the community, just talk to the community. The community is your strength, it's your power. Shaquille and like Keone talked about their business. I talked to Hania. I just did a review of her website. I call Mary, at night, and like we talk and we download it. Friendship and connection is super important part of this. So that's my share for this proverb, and just remembering that doing this with you together, with Roxana, with Colleen, with everyone, with Arsenije, talk to themes this week. That's really what makes it work. Otherwise, me by myself doing something, I do not enjoy it. I do not enjoy I'm very social. I enjoy the party more than whatever the outcomes are. So yeah, that's my share. Mary can share if she wants about this quote.
I want to share.
Yes, please, Hania.
Yes, I want to compliment. Actually, all people say the same. The community is the power. So I'm biologist, I'm scientist, and I appreciate the orientation that I'm receiving in brand, the strategy of communication with customers, how to help companies to structure better ideas, to express themselves, to communicate themselves. I have joined the community per curiosity, and since then I continuously try to be active. People in the community have helped me to organize my ideas. I have learned a lot about branding, and there are many references and many ideas that you can discuss. I'm reading many books that the community has recommended, and really right now I can link many persons from the community with many companies or with other projects that are looking support. So yeah, this is what I'm doing here, because I'm not brand specialist, I'm not editing videos, I'm not building homepage, but I understand how you are doing and how important your work is to communicate to others. This is what my work here. Yeah. And I love the energy, and I love people is also very nice, very kind, very gentle, very I don't know, open. This is not common to find everywhere. This is also. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hania. You're amazing. So what Hania just said is that if you need help with business development, Hania can help you. If you need access to science-based companies in Colombia, in Latin America, she's there for you. She's developing a curriculum based on core for a university in Colombia. Y bueno, también, ¿cómo se dice? Me da mucha alegría que tenemos a personas que son de otras disciplines, from other disciplines, not just designers, because it's about the cross collaboration, taking, Priscilla's energy as a theater person and being able to bring it to us as, creatives, keeping in mind that all of what we do here, a lot of it is based on improv. Yes, and so Mary, you were going to share about the quote, and we'll continue the flow.
Oh yeah, I was just going to share. Hi everyone. Happy Friday. The example, there's so many examples in my life of this in general, like being with friends and being able to do much more than I would if I was doing things on my own. And the most recent example, and you know, today I think Jose is going to share the podcast that we recently produced. That's like a great example of, you know, how much further we took the, not just the project that we worked on for the Everyone rebrand, but also the podcast itself. Like without, you know, the whole team producing it and working on it together and collaborating, it would never have been as successful and awesome as it is. You know, it takes a lot of talent and a lot of diversity and different like approaches to things to kind of, you know, push things further and go beyond what you ever expected you could do. So that's all I have to add.
Well, thank you so much for your
Yeah.
thoughts and your anecdote, Mary. You know, I'm gonna add this before we move on. You know, one of the things, like I grew up by someone that taught me the actual opposite of this quote, and it's because, you know, this person was this world-renowned Olympian that was running races by themselves. And I learned very young that you need to have a team to grow, to survive, to be nurtured. Um, you know, when I was younger, you know, when I was like 15, 16, like I used to even get teased a lot because I was always looking towards the elders, and I was always looking towards mentors, and I was always looking toward those other folks. And I wasn't ashamed to say what I thought, whether it was right or wrong. It was just like, hey, this is what I think. This is what I feel, right? Can you help me understand better? Or you know, can you point me in the right direction? I was always searching for community, for people to help me navigate to where I wanted to go. And I look at my life now, and you know, Jose calls it Jack Sparrowing it, you know, where you just kind of bumble along, you know, just trying to figure your way out, you know. And I have always managed to land exactly where I needed to be. And I always found myself in the right places, not because of, you know, crazy talent I had or crazy skill. Yes, my perseverance and devotion to push forth through difficult times to get to where I needed to get there, super important. But it was a community, right? It was always someone that opened the door, you know, or opened that window, or, you know, was like, hey, yo, meet me at the back door. I'm gonna get you in here, right? It's not, the opportunities that I found in my life were always presented by someone within my community. And for that, I'm eternally grateful. So we're going to end this chat on that note, and we're going to move into the next part of our agenda. We're going to talk a little bit about community building and where we're at, and what you guys need. So let's move on, y'all.
Yeah, well, for that. Thank you everyone for sharing. And we'll go fast through this. We're at 30 minutes in. We want to try to compress it to end early, always. So community building. So what does it take for community building? You know, one of the things that I have discovered, and somebody asked me recently on Instagram, how long have I been teaching online or being online? And, you know, with the exception of a couple of years breaks after I left the school, it's been 7 years. And the first time I kind of did YouTube, it was on a network called This Week In, and I had a show called This Week in Web Design. And live on the air, we did customer profiles, or we did user profiles for the show. We did core basically for the show live. And I'm going to get rid of my virtual background, but Patricia's not here today, so I'm like channeling her. You know what? I'll leave her there. And by doing the customer profiles live, people in the audience, I was like, oh, that's definitely me. That's definitely me. So just wanted to show you very quickly. 2 years ago, we did core again. We did a workshop called Personal Core, and I did who my co-creators, we call them co-creators instead of, call them characters in your theater play. And these are all based on real people. They're based on instances of what people need in our community, but just their needs summarized: make work meaningful, community, a safe space to grow, healing in community, to learn leadership, to create a YouTube channel, to, do events and workshops, etc. Like that kind of trajectory. Yeah, you can move it to 16, Keone. What does the community need? That trajectory is the trajectory that we're on. So we're using that as a model for what we're creating. How do we empower you to go from just a designer who needs meaning to teach what you know, like Roxana is doing and like many of you are doing, to work in community, to get over whatever your challenges are together, and then, lead and create whatever it is, content. It doesn't have to be, people think that it's about growth on YouTube or on Instagram, etc. It's really about just the community around you. It takes you focusing on those customer profiles. And I hate calling them customer profiles because you're not customers, we're community profiles, right? Let's call them that. 2, you focusing relentlessly on those, on delivering, exactly what those needs are that gets you to where you need to go. And, Keone mentioned it. We're both Tauruses. We both kind of like charge forward, but what we can't do, we then augment through community. What we don't know how to do, what we don't like doing. One of the best quotes aside from today's quote is know thyself. Like, above all, know thyself. Like, what are you good at? What are you bad at? We judge ourselves, and if you were to use Chris Do as your standard, Rafael Sandoval, your self-esteem, my self-esteem was put down to the ground, right? Because he's a machine, he's amazing, right? And I can't measure myself to Chris Do. And then who am I, and what is my unique gift? What's my real superpower? Because if you are in your superpower, you're able to, manifest and create anything. So the next thing is based on a retro, and let's just do it for a few minutes. We already had a lot of things of what worked for people. Emily kind of noted, Keone, like, the first thing you can put on the Delta is launch the accelerator. Let's get circles going. Plus Delta, we did this recently in a session with the partners facilitated by Barrett Morse, who's one of the co-creators of Core. And we started with a retro and what's working, the community, momentum, etc. What the Delta means, what do we need to focus on or improve? And what came out of that immediately jumped us into the conversation, a very heated conversation of what we need to focus on. And we've been doing that in weekly sessions together. But aligning the group of people is not easy. So, let's actually, do we want to do the retro with everyone, or do we just want to jump into the story? What do you guys prefer? Do you want to participate and like tell us? Yeah, let's do 9. Let's do 9 more deltas. So in the chat, just state one thing that's working for you about the community, and Keone and I will paste it into the slide. And then delta is, what do you need? What can we do to improve it? Anything, it could be anything. Like, we need the replays to be posted faster. They are now with Mauricio. We need shorter form content. We're talking about that, don't worry about, hurting anyone's feelings. It's like, what do you personally need? More examples of Core, like more, an opportunity to be on stage, an opportunity to find your voice, to unmute yourself. Whatever it is that you need, just put it in there, in the chat. Open discussion and dialogue. Can you expand a little bit about that?
Well, I mean, this is my first. Oh, this is Fim speaking.
Hi, Fims. Tell them a little bit who you are.
Yeah.
I'm a communication strategist and creative producer who's now working on a shift to focus on storytelling projects that are focused on climate change and food sustainability. And what I really appreciated about, because I've just been following you on YouTube, this is the first time that I'm here, but what I really appreciated is that there was like an open discussion and dialogue on like where people were at, and also if they had any questions in regards to what was discussed. And I think that openness also supports inclusion, which I feel like was lost in a lot of communities, I'm like air quoting, that I've been in, and so I really appreciate that.
Yo, themes. Totally felt that. Dig that.
Yeah, welcome, themes. It's so good to see you. We had an amazing conversation this week. It was really great. So,
Ooh.
what people don't understand is that if you do reach out, we can talk. Like it's not.
Yeah.
My schedule is fairly open, even though I'm doing a lot of work. Case studies and examples of applications. Yeah. Core for B2B. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, a deep case study for Corvus. Look at that. We're coming down to Ensenada and filming interviews. That would be awesome. One of our
Dude,
podcast
that'd be so
episodes.
fun.
I'm waiting for you guys.
Over beers. Let's do it.
Oh my God. Well, it's your birthday next week, Keone, so.
Hey.
Hey.
We might go guys trip to Ensenada.
Guys trip to Ensenada.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
It's on the 20th.
Yeah.
It's on the 20th, bro.
My birthday is on the 13th.
Yep.
What were you gonna say, Papa?
Right in
Who
the
was gonna
middle.
say? Somebody was gonna say something. Papa.
Yeah, sorry.
I was gonna say maybe meets synchronized in different cities where it was 2 or 3 or 20 or 30 people get together simultaneously, then we come back to the circle or to the back to the system and discuss what it is that we got from those meets.
Local circles, yeah, like a template for local circles. Love that.
That's awesome. I love that.
Hey. Recommendation of the most important points to be considered in an NDA and contract between parties. Ooh, so that's
That's a good
contractual overview.
Contracts, yeah.
That's
For Michael, 60 or 80 videos on Loom, talking along keynote deck, showing ideas and rants, post teasers of them, and build community circles. How to lead our own circles. Basically the facilitation kit. Yeah.
Well, you guys have that already where you mean like circles for if we was to meet up?
Yeah, well, circles is the same dynamic. It's like what we're doing here is in the mechanics of circle. Like we just set the agenda, we close it. It's a style of gathering. It comes from tribal leadership. It comes from tribes gathering. We're bringing the old school ways of managing of the Tainos, of the native people of our Latin America, because
the talking stick stuff,
the talking
sort of
stick.
like Stephen Covey used to talk about that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That kind
Advice on how to translate core. Go ahead.
From yesterday's conversation, like something on financial education, like personal finance.
Yeah, financial literacy.
Yep.
How does credit work? How to, what's a profit and loss statement? How to read a P&L? Yeah, it's a really good one. Sales is a really great kind of topic too.
Yeah. Simon, I really love this one because I use it. I've done this so many times. Translating core directly into, I love that.
I would really appreciate that. Sorry to interrupt. Go.
No, please go ahead.
Go ahead. No
So I would really appreciate that because I find that it's very hard to find good and proven methods for that. So it's all just a bit vague and abstract. Every guide I find or every resource, and I would love to learn how to do that better. It's hard. So I would really appreciate it if you could have a session on that or something.
Well, one thing in circles, we believe that the best way, so there's a lot of courses and a lot of kits and a lot of information out there. I personally am horrible at consuming that content. I only learn by doing it. Like I'll use the framework and I'll do it, but experimenting and doing it again, that's me learning. So Simon, maybe in a circle, it could be core for messaging and you create a project, it's basically create messaging for your own personal story and do an Instagram campaign about you as the product. That'd be fun. It's a fun exercise. It's silly, but in the process, we can coach you on how to translate core into it together. Yeah, and people who have done messaging with core, like Mauro, can participate, etc. I'm sure Emily,
that sounds
Cassie,
cool.
and Bobby have all done messaging. So, request for help. What does that one mean?
I didn't finish typing, but basically Jason has a place where someone could request help for each other. Not as prominent, so if you're a little bit shy or more introverted, you could just,
that's a good circle. Ask for help. You go into a circle and you post your question, and somebody finds. Yeah, I've learned. I'm really bad at asking for help in general in my life, so it takes me a while to do it. So if there's an open forum for it, that's really great.
Yeah.
Okay. Sweet. I love the idea of campaign challenges. Case studies are core for marketing and social media.
From Arsene J. Having more time for free flow conversation, meetups, and some group gatherings would be awesome. Yeah. So one of the things that we've kind of decided, we're trying to figure out how to put this together, is a co-working space. So, it's a time, a few hours every single day where we can all hop on Zoom. It's work. So we're all working together. I might be DJing the jams, and, random conversation can open up if someone had a question, idea, something that they're working on that might be stuck with. But generally, it's just an open co-working space with jams and good rhythm and vibes for you to connect and work. How do you guys think about that? I see a lot of nodding going on. Post in the chat if you think it's dope.
I love Cassie's idea, share your work. One thing that we want to do is showcase. We've been doing it a little bit here or in office hours. Is like, Mauro showed a case study. Maybe Cassie is next in showing a case study that they can share, so that you have case studies out there and you can clip those and put them on your own website.
Yeah.
But basically, we want to highlight the community and show the power of the community. We've been thinking of having, I'm not even going to go into that because that coincidentally came up. So this is about listening. So this process is about listening. We obviously always have to prioritize. Remember the rule of 3. What are the top 3 things that are coming out of this delta? Like if I were to prioritize, I love show your work. All of the, case studies, examples of core for B2B, just examples of core in general, I think is a great one. If I were to, even if if we focus on doing those 3 in the accelerator, would it be valuable if we had a lot of examples of core for different projects? Of course. Wow, that's good. Let's move it. Exercises to be a better facilitator. That's a really good one. More case studies, exercise. The delta's over here. I'm dropping it in. Very nice, very nice. All right. Where are we at, Keone? Thank you guys for participating. This is valuable input. Yeah, this is really.
I was going through the chat and just like pulling stuff. It doesn't fit here, so I had to pull up notes.
Well, here, I'll duplicate it and I'll do another one. I'll do another slide and just do it in the next slide.
Yeah, dude.
Well, and Mauricio, I'll give you have a Systm email, so I'll give you the link. I'll put the link in here in the chat. And Mauricio, if you can help document. This is called collaboration on the fly using Google Slides. Doing this for yourself really works. You can do this with your clients actually at the end of a project. Just a side note, like what worked well for them, what could we improve, and just listen to it. Like getting feedback, just listen to it. Don't get upset. And that's why delta or what can we improve is a better way of saying it. Like what sucks? This is horrible. This is really bad. Very different energy. It's like yes and in improv. It's like, okay, this is what we're done well, and here's what you can improve. It's an additive, and then you focus on improving those things. All right, where are we at, Keone?
I went through
next slide, 18.
So we've got, there's just a lot of, there's 3 more. There's how to define our niche, like to show your group, like to show your work Wednesday was an idea that came up.
I put it up there, number 15, show your work.
Michael talked about a templated way to track income, liabilities, investing, financial literacy.
Without putting how much money you make. Yeah, that's fine.
Campaign challenges.
I put that in there too. What's a campaign challenge?
So here's what here's what I think when I hear campaign challenge. When I hear campaign challenge, I'm like, okay, everyone, guess what we're going to do? We're going to do a LinkedIn challenge. And what we're going to do is for the next 30 days, we're going to set up our LinkedIn and we're going to use our origin stories that we already designed. And we're going to now create our own story, post it on LinkedIn. We're going to have in this group, whenever anyone does an update, we're all going to share likes and upvotes for everyone. So,
man, are we going to be like Reddit? Is it going to be a meme factory? Like all these memes and Reddit threads? Like, yeah, that's hilarious.
Right?
Yeah.
But you know, like this is the stuff, right? Like
community management by Reddit.
Exactly. You know, like we can do like a Twitter, like 30 days of tweets where like every day we'll post a tweet around our business. And we make sure that for all of our homies in the group, all of us that are doing this challenge together, we're all going to support everyone. So maybe at the same time, we all go and post likes so that we make sure that we're pumping up everyone's content, right? And yeah, it's small, it's within our community, but it supports everyone.
LinkedIn and origin stories with community support.
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
So yeah, so that's what I think when I hear the campaign challenge. And Cassie, were you the one that had said that made that? You want to hop on and share?
Yeah, sure. Well, Mauricio actually has more experience in that than I do, but he did a campaign that was like a 30-day challenge, and it was just on Instagram, and it was different prompts every day, but you would get it by the week. So you would do one daily, but you would know what to expect. And a lot of it was sharing, you know, your story, your origin story. So yeah, I love the idea of LinkedIn and like Twitter or whatever. Yeah, but yeah, you get the idea. You got it.
Love the idea.
I can talk about it a little bit. I've actually been trying to get the girl that made the challenge here like 1,000 times. That's great to be here. Anyways. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was pretty good. Like she would have themes for each week.
Yeah.
And she would email you like those beforehand. Yeah, and it made sense. Like she wouldn't tell you though what you had to do every day in advance. You would only know that day. It was pretty good. It was this like storytelling thing, and it was mainly about you showing yourself who you were to your audience. Like, this is who I am, this is what I'm about. It's pretty great.
Yo, I love that. I super duper love that. And yeah, we're definitely gonna do that because Lord knows I need to. So
I'm building up the courage to ask this question for the community, but more so for myself. What could someone expand on specifically what is the origin story?
Yeah. I'll share. So one of the challenges that I saw within our community was the comfort and the understanding of one's own story and being able to share that comfortably, so that when you are talking about the kind of work you do and the reason why you do that kind of work and the people that you like to work with, you can really build a confidence to make sure that you're really aligning yourself with your potential clients. You're aligning yourself with your potential collaborators. And it's really a way about being able to identify whether or not a creative opportunity is a good fit or a bad fit for you. So to understand that, we went through this process I called.
I just dropped in the slides the example for Roxana on slide 18, right after the, right where you're at. So if you forward it, just show him.
There it is, right?
We're using the hero's journey as a framework and kind of sharing and teaching how to like capture the story. There's simpler ways of doing the hero's journey. We just did the full 12 or one of the, and then summarizing them into your superpowers. And Roxana's superpowers was what we did. Keone did her story. So her superpower is to build bridges across cultures and community by exploring creativity and friendship together so that she can grow, innovate, and build a creative community. Perfect for this theme. And she's podcasting, she's doing, all the things, that a designer or a person who wants to grow a community can do with the internet, with the interwebs, because nobody knows you're a cat in Mallorca on the internet. So yeah, that, and then here at the end, you know, you can see it almost like how in the attribute clustering part of core, you know, I bridge culture, you know, through authenticity, making and connections. I explore design, learning, developing. I grow in, you know, community, self-expression, innovation. So all these become like, you know, a little dashboard for you to like, you know, basically step into the I am, and knowing that clarity is what gives you the fidelity to be able to move forward. You know, just repeat that over and over again. You see it, you print it out, you put it up, you know, and that becomes, I know it's a little woo side, but welcome to the woo side. But that's actually how brand strategy works anyway too. Brand strategy is super woo side. You're taking something from nothing to something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's not an evil Elmo. We did research about the Elmo. The Elmo means something sucks. We're just like, light this.
It's expression.
Light this on fire. Light this on fire.
Totally. And if you guys look, the
Burn
story
the system down
Elmo is crazy, right? The dude that originated the real Elmo and his personality, he's, you know, he's a young brother of color. It's a fantastic.
Watch the documentary. The documentary is a little controversial at the end, actually, if you watch it.
Yeah.
It gets a little weird and controversial, but that's okay. So let's go to where we're at. Does that help, Rafael? Did that answer?
Yeah.
The templates are available, and one of the circles in the Accelerator will be focused on that. That is your application to the Accelerator for this first group of people that we're gonna bring in are people who've done their story. So there's a reason for that. But go ahead.
Well, these are Keone. You want to speak?
Go ahead, brother.
Oh, well, these are the notes. These are the notes I took based on what you guys were saying to build comfort of one's own story within the construct of confidence and alignment for peers and potential future peers. Yeah,
exactly. It's how we stack the deck in our favor. You know, we look at a lot of like really notable social entrepreneurs like an Oprah, or Elon or any of these other folks out here. How is it that they are constantly able to innovate, constantly able to build their brand, constantly able to build businesses? It's because there's alignment between who they are, what they believe, and the people that they work with. So they're constantly stacking the deck in their favor, right? We see these in some of the most successful agencies. They're incredibly successful. Why? Because they have these deep relationships. They have a community of collaborators. They have a community of clients, right? There is a deep and profound shared understanding of this is the way that we believe the world needs to be. So this is how we operate. So everybody's within that alignment. Look at this community, right? You come in and you step in right away. You hear the sounds, you feel the vibes, you look at the community, you see the diversity, you see the different languages, right? You hear the topics that we're talking about. This is us, telling this story of ourselves, but now sharing it circle wide, community wide.
Yeah. You can only create original culture if there's a grounding in who you are. Musicians have to do this, actors have to do this work to really ground yourself in you so that you can express yourself, not in what the system tells you to be expressed, of the labels that you might have in society. You're a designer, you're a husband, you're a wife, you're a, white, black, whatever it is, all the labels, get rid of them and then just use your story, and your story is your identification. So that's also powerful for us in the diaspora. Beautiful. Where are we at?
It reminds me of a quote, "To thyself be true."
Yeah, it's a beautiful quote. I have a ring that says that on it. Yeah. Well, actually, no, my ring says "Know thyself." The Systm podcast. I'm gonna put the link. Here's my request. It's now live. The YouTube. It's also on Spotify. The second link in the chat is the Spotify. It's our first episode. Check it out. In the comments on YouTube, please share it. In the comments on YouTube, if there's anything you got out of it, like what's the one thing that you got out of it, like, in terms of the lesson. It is the everyone case study and interview format, and experimenting. Like Mary said, lots of people were involved, a lot of creative people just having fun. And we're really excited about it. It was a true co-creation of many people. So thank you to those people, Monique Mayon and the crew in Brazil. Yeah, that's it. That's the first part. So the system, we're running short on time, Keone. So the question is, can you just walk, I'll do slide 27, 28, 29, 30, 31 really fast. Just tell the story like with like 3 beats. Here's an example, guys, on how to tell a story in 3 beats. So if you know the alignment exercise in core, we use that to figure out the agenda for our alignment session, the one thing that you can get out of it. So it was Mary, myself, Keone, and Barrett, and we really were trying to get to a nugget of what it is that we're doing in a unified way so that everybody felt that they were included in the idea and it wasn't just like one person's vision, it was a collective vision. So we did that first, and then one thing that we were drawing from is we did a similar exercise after we did our core with Pape. So slide 28, we did, I want to show it for a reason. We did cultural, what we call just culturescapes. It's not, don't confuse them with stylescapes. It's just basically, what do the times look like? What are movies that inspire us? We added anime as a category because we love anime. And then you notice like things like the portrait, go back to the first one. That cover of Elon Musk, actually Monique found this when we were doing this on Pinterest. That inspired the portrait of us as children. That, because that's the genius that we are is always manifested when we are, between 7 and 12 before we become adults and we lose that. And on the other side, Luffy and One Piece is the best management training that you could ever, experience if you watch that content. It's on Netflix. All right, so let's go to 29. The reason I want to show 29 is because it's really funny. So in the meme section, we took Vitalik out. Oh my God, all right. I wanted to show Vitalik, but it looks like this one is, that's the full. It's merged. That's okay. Yeah. So merged. What are memes? What's music? What's location? But the important one is actually, originally that was a Vitalik. You'll see it in a second. This is architecture, art, and like locations, right? The first one's art. The second one, I think, I'm not sure how it's divided.
This one is
art movements. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's messy, but you get the idea. We got a lot of inspiration, and then if you go to the next slide. Okay, so I'm gonna explain the next slide. Once we did the exercise of alignment, we then started putting the themes, not the one at the top, collaborative, but we did all the themes that we just kind of were brainstorming in roughly three categories. Similar to how we did with Roxana, collaboration, learning. And we also looked at our core, and we also looked at, the community and what we've actually been doing. So we blended in core. It's all about synthesis, what we've been doing. And then this meeting, Mary brought the point of view because we both spent, a few years at Consensus, which is a blockchain incubator in New York. How to kind of add that to the mix. And we've been talking about that now for several months. So this was the meeting to kind of like try to bring that together. So after we did all the long list, who's it for, the blockchain part is almost like the X factor. How do we make it different? So collaborative education on the blockchain. And the joke was, because we've put it on the blockchain, and there's this joke that put some blockchain on it for any business model, and now you have a great investor pitch. So go back to the one before that. So I added this meme of Vitalik that we had in our culturescape, but then Keone, we're collaborating. Keone drops Black Jesus on top of him. So now we call it the Black Jesus strategy. That's going to be which is collaborative education on the blockchain. So all this work, what is it for? Why are we doing this? It's mainly so that everyone is heard, and so that we have an idea that's, 1 + 1 = many versus just one idea. So facilitating circles, facilitating teams, building a company, moving together, like the African proverb says, is ultimately about facilitation, which is really what core is all about, which is really what we're here for. How to facilitate gatherings, how to facilitate meetings, how to facilitate ideas, and how to move together, forward. That's really a critical thing. So yes, the Systm, collaborative education on the blockchain for the global creative community. We'll expand more on that, what that means. We just wanted to share the process. And I am complete. Anyone who wants to add anything, Mary or Keone, to that summary? I'm done.
Oh man, you covered most of it. We know why we're here. This has sort of been the journey. This was a big pivot for me. And this is me personally, at the beginning of the pandemic. At the beginning of the pandemic, when we first started doing these broadcasts, at the time I was actually being pressured by my partner to give up consulting and actually move into an agency space. And we all deal with this at some or another, where the call, it's sort of like the sellout call. You get to a point in life, at least for me, I'm in my late 30s. I have the skills and the talent to go and work and be in, upper level management in some creative firm. And the pressure was, you're making, you're not making bad money consulting, but you can easily jump double, triple that working for some company, get that 6-figure gig, man, sell out, bro, go buy that Tesla. And I was there. And it was actually through the community. I started doing these broadcasts every single Friday. Jose and I were kind of talking about potentially partnering together. But my relationships with you, this community in particular, is really what pivoted me away from that drive for individualistic compensation towards a more community compensation. Like, how can we all get paid? How can we all win? How can my work, be more significant than just helping some company grow? But how can I help a community grow? And then the challenge, on top of that, is me being first generation and coming from an Asian background and struggling with seeing people that look like me in my industries. So how can we, affect the big design, the big D? How can we change the world? How can we create the opportunities?
Well, we can create them. Yeah, you create new systems. Slide 34 is interesting. For those of you who are familiar with the Lean Canvas, we didn't finish it, but we did a lot of it. We had to really understand what the global creative builders are, and that they're multidisciplinary. And then we talked about what are the other two segments. We had some broad definitions like, startups, but finally we began kind of honing that in. But, the value proposition at the end, talent matching, but really one thing that we don't have here on the mastery part, like the problem to solve, and confidence, the confidence to grow, that's really your life. So business and life are kind of one thing. You have to grow personally to grow your business. You can't separate them. Otherwise, it's just going to be the old system of like, we're over here in business, we're over here in life. And we're not talking about like blending everything completely, but, we're talking about how do we live a more integrated life so that we don't have that schism, that separation between the two things. Anyway, that's it. Wanted to share that with everyone. So that's a process we're taking. Model it, ask us about it, and we'll give you more updates. Design therapy updates. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. So the design therapy updates are, and we'd love your feedback on this. If you don't have, we're not going to make a decision immediately. But as we're opening the Accelerator program, design therapy is something that we really want to use to have a deeper relationship with our community. And so, Jose mentioned it a little bit earlier in today's broadcast. We're thinking about maybe not having it as often, maybe twice a month, with more frequent check-ins internally on the Accelerator program. There are some options out there, but we need your help in trying to figure out what's the best way to approach that.
Yeah, we'll figure that out, but just knowing that the frequency is going to be less, we'll continue doing office hours every week for core.
Yep. So here we go, guys. We have the Accelerator program. Functionally, it's set up, and it's ready for the community. We have our very first circle, which is going to be on the power of origin stories, And so for those of you guys that are interested in applying, we'd love to have you come and join us. And the best way to start would be, as Jose says, to start with crafting your hero's journey, your origin story, and using that as your application to join. So uh, here's my email. It's Keone at thesystem.co, Keone at thesystem, no e.co. And what I would like for you guys to do, if you are interested in this and you guys are serious about this, about stepping into the next level of our community, send me an email. Okay. The Accelerator program, and let's be fully transparent, the Accelerator program, we're looking at $125 a month. In the Accelerator program, you're going to find most of the things that you guys just requested. You're going to be able to find support for any course project that you're working with, all of our core case studies, so real projects that we've used with real clients will be posting in there. All of the support for the exercises that you need to have. If you need to run a UX exercise, if you need to run a knitting exercise, right? All of the exercises that we've put together and developed, we're going to have in the Accelerator program for your support. And of course, it's the community as well. So those are the updates for the Accelerator. We've already got a couple folks that have reached out to me that I'm going to be sending invitations for this weekend. But I'd love to have a few of you guys come in and join us. And it starts with the origin story. So reach out to me. Let's connect. If pricing is a concern, if financially you're struggling, still reach out to me. We'll see what we can do to make it work. But yeah,
I don't want we don't want that to be a barrier. We'll figure things out. The most important thing is who are the first people inside the Accelerator and what work we're going to do. I mean, this is really about a community building exercise, and now really taking it internal and continue to express it externally during some of our broadcasts. But one desire that I have for that program and in general is that that we start getting people, creating content and augmenting their voice and their signal. So that's very exciting. Cassie, not Casey. I'm answering your question in the chat. Continue.
And it's $125 monthly. Javier.
And for those of you who, for new core kits, if you haven't bought core, when you buy core, we're going to give a free month. So that kind of saves you a lot of money.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's where we are. I'm excited. And what we're going to do, guys, if you guys are on this call, reach out to me. Next month, I'm actually going to redo my origin story, and I'm going to redo it alongside everyone that's going to be this story with me. So you're going to get my support. Jose, of course, you'll have his support, and Mary's. But yeah, we're going to start a circle, and we're going to start that exercise next week. Emily, you had a question. What's up?
Are we sending our origin stories to you if it's done?
Yeah, if you have it done, you can go ahead and send it to me.
Okay, cool.
Just use my email.
But email him no matter what. I mean, whether you have it or not.
Okay.
You are going to have to do it. Yeah.
Beautiful. I have it, so that's fine. Okay,
thank you so much, Emily. It's so amazing that you're here.
Yeah, guys. And so that's just to prepare for launch. As we said, we feel like the pandemic, at least in the US, a lot of the restrictions around business and operations are starting to ease. So we definitely are seeing things start to pick up. So this is a really great time to kind of prepare yourself, for launch.
Yeah, it's getting exciting. I'm nervous.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't finish that. We'll have that anyways. But so let's talk a little bit about the upload and bringing today's session to a close. The question that we have for you guys is, what was one valuable thing that you got from today's broadcast? Jose, would you like to share?
Sure, I'll model it. I think listening to having new people participate and share getting an opportunity to share where we're at, and just even to share the challenges and the feels during this process of creating community with you. Excited that Priscilla's here and more people from Spanish-speaking world. Diane Perry, Jason Chen, Javier Vargas, just excited to see everyone. So I got a lot of love.
Nice. And the floor is open, y'all. This is your time to kind of check in. Maybe last questions, last thoughts, comments. Maybe something that we've missed.
I just really appreciated the focus on collaboration and community, but also using community as a support system to help people achieve their own individual goals as well. So that's my take.
Thank you, Feems.
Awesome. Thank you, Feems. Fire commentary. I'm digging it.
I want to ask, when the Accelerator program that we going to start?
Send Keone an email, Hania. We're starting it out now. We're letting a group in to begin the process.
I want to join.
Yeah, Bobby. I just messaged you my email. Send me an email. You're part of the first group. We're gonna make it happen, Captain.
How often does the Accelerator meet? Assess Mila.
So that's a great question. You'll actually get. So the Accelerator program is on the circles.so platform. So it's like our little Facebook group. You guys will get feedback from me every single day. I'm on it every single day. It's support that you might need. We're going to run the origin story circle. So if you've already done it, great. We're going to refine it. But I want for everyone to make sure that by the end of that circle, we have a super, super tight, super, super awesome story that we're really proud of. And we'll probably be meeting once a week.
What she wants to know is how much time is it going to take for her, because you're working, you're doing all these things. So one of the reasons why we're reducing these broadcasts for Fridays is to make space. It might be twice a month. It might be once a month. We'll figure it out, like to exactly what, but it's going to be at a minimum once a month for the particular circle that you're in, because it's decentralized. Like there's different people doing different things. We'll then meet back here for the broadcast and share our experiences in the circle, in our circle. Yeah. So imagine this being the lobby of the video game, and now the first circle of your story is level 1, which is completing that assignment. And the Accelerator is going to work that way. There's 3 levels of the game, and as we add more levels, we'll continue adding them. But right now there's 3 levels. You have to finish the first level to graduate to the second level, if that makes sense. It's like a Starship Academy. Oh, one thing I wanted to show that's really funny from all the design research just for designers and super ADD moment, the design aesthetic and more is more, which is this book on maximalism, and like when you just mix everything together, what it looks like, which is super cool. The book, and then typeset in the future. This one is for Keone Chong, because it's like all the interfaces for Star Trek and for Star Wars and for like all the sci-fi movies. Yeah, you got to get this one, Mauro. Got to share it with you for inspiration.
Is that the one that had the when I talked about the inspiration for Burning Man? I talked about the bar from Total Recall. Is that the one?
It has Total Recall in it. Yeah, it has Total Recall in it. But yeah, design inspiration. That's what it's guiding. We're a maximalist space colony of pirates. All right, continue. Sorry.
Yeah.
I totally hijacked that.
Hey Simon, is there a Slack channel? Not right now. We're trying to scale up the levels of interaction, and we don't want to have too many.
There's a Facebook group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we will. Our Slack is going to be circle.so.
Yep. Yeah.
And if you need to go, it's 12:30. If you need to go, you can drop off. There's no shame in that.
I'm trying to say this in English. For me, the most valuable things I take today from this broadcast is know you personally, because I was seeing you in the IGTV with Alex.
Un placer conocer.
Y know you personally more, and even Roxana. We talk for the chat of the Corbata, but I never see his face, and I'm so glad to know you.
Y el background que ella tiene, Adriana hizo el background que ella tiene. Adriana, you should share that with everybody, so we just all come in one day and we just all
super cool.
Yeah.
We're all jumping.
Share it in the Facebook. Gracias por estar aquí, Priscila.
No, gracias a vosotros. Muchas gracias. Estoy encantada.
Gracias.
Cookies time.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So today's episode, as always, is brought to you by Core Brand Discovery. You can find it at coresmagic.com. We always ask for you guys to like and subscribe so we can continue to bring you this awesome content. So smash that bell and join us. And here we are, guys. The outro for today's session. Music and no cookies.
By the time you're done not eating this cookie, everything is going to be okay.
Yo, Bobby, yeah, we will have 3X. We'll have them. We got you, bro.
Thank you, Adriana.
Yeah.
And my stash of not cookies is running out. This is the last cookies I got. I'm sad.
It's all good, man. So is anybody excited for the weekend? We got any Tauruses in the house other than Jose and myself? We got the Taurus adjacent. We got Motto.
I said I was gonna rest, but now thinking about it, no, I don't get to rest this weekend.
Go to bed early or sleep in. It's good just to get a little lazy.
I'm trying. I woke up today at 9. I had a meeting at 9:30. I'm like, oh God. Do it. Super rushed.
Oh man, they fucked around and put up what's that anime on Netflix? I can't remember, dude. With
Castlevania.
The whip. Castlevania. Why?
Keone, turn off the no cookies.
11:40 last night, and I was like, oh damn. There goes 2 hours. You were sister's birthday, Libra in the house. That's what's up.
Hey, Keone, is that anime kid friendly? My son likes anime. Like, Wait. He watched the whole season of Big Mouth, guys. So I'm just like,
oh, wait a minute. You're asking if it's kid friendly and you showed him Big Mouth? Anime
it's about puberty. It's totally up his alley. He's like 13.
I'm a 48-year-old man tomorrow, and I'm getting embarrassed watching that show.
Me too.
I'm like, whoa.
Okay, well, maybe I'll watch Castlevania by myself first.
No, well, it has a lot of violence, but
yeah, it's
Studio Ghibli films are all on HBO. Their platform, their digital platform, Spirited Away, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, those are all super kid-friendly anime.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't be talking. My dad brought home Akira when I was like 8 years old. And I was sitting there watching Tetsuo evolve out of control. And I was like, what is going on? Nightmares. But that's where my love of red, really fast motorcycles comes from. So, there are worse things in the world.
I want Roxana to unmute herself and share that background while we're having here in the Milk and Cookies. That is so awesome.
Yeah, thanks to Adriana that made it happen. So it's beautiful. And yeah, and a portal into a portal, and yeah, magical.
No, like everyone. It's the energy of everyone in this room. As we said here, like apapachándonos a todos.
Thank you, Art, for being here. It's good to see you, brother.
Yeah, man.
Natasha Scott, the quiet.
This is the nice of this group, this energy, this communication, this B2B together. It doesn't matter if you speak good English or you don't speak good English or what you want to say. Everything is welcome. I love also the style of everyone, really. It's so lovely. Give energy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hania, always for being here. You're an inspiration. Yeah.
I want to say happy birthday to both you guys for the weekend coming up.
Oh, thank you, brother.
Thank you, brother. Thanks for being here, Rafael.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Best part of our week.
Alrighty, y'all. It's 12:41. We love y'all. We just want to remind you guys that you guys are powerful, that you guys are creative, and you guys can build anything you put your mind to. To infinity and beyond, y'all. Have a great one. Peace.
Peace.
Love you guys. Happy birthday.
Have the full heart.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Happy
guys.
birthday.
Happy
Feliz cumpleaños.
Feliz cumple.
Hey,
Yes.
Jose.
Oh my God.
Alles Gute. Sus Geburtstag.
I hate birthday celebrations, but this is making my day. Yeah. Gracias.
Happy birthday.
Love y'all.
Jose, it's already 15th in India, so it's your
Oh,
birthday.
all right. It is my birthday in India, Mumbai. By the way, remind me to tell you the story about the taxi in Mumbai. It's a super crazy story.
Next time.
For another time. For another time.
For another time.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
Lots of love.
Love y'all. Take care.